So we say goodbye. And this is Charles. Come over here, son. As part of the ritual of saying goodbye to these items, give me the camera back. Charles will now do the robot. Go. Do it. Do a little spin move. And that's how you say goodbye to old friends, right? All right, here we go. We're going to talk about how I put this thing together. I did a video a few minutes ago, but it was like, when I say a few minutes, it was like an hour long. So, man, I'm going to have to blast through this part because I want it to be much shorter than that. So, this is the design for the Lime Crush. I think it was a Chevy. And this was at SEMA a few years ago and everything, which was fantastic, and I was the artist that got commissioned to do it. So, in this part 1 video, what we're going to do is we're going to go over all the sketching and the kind of put together stuff, and then in part 2, I'm going to go ahead and show you the source Photoshop file, so you can see everything that I did on every layer, and it's going to be awesome. So, here we go. Initially, when I got this call from these guys, and they're like, hey, you know, we want to give you a bunch of money to go ahead and draw this thing. What are you going to do? I started with some rough sketches, like this guy right here. I took that rough sketch, blew it up a little bit, and then I kind of started to flesh out the actual design. As you can see here, you know, it's very, very rough, but at this stage, it's not about detail, it's about attitude. You know what I mean? You want to have that flow. There's a little bit of rat fink feel, but not really rat fink feel. I mean, this isn't how they did stuff, so that's cool. Then I added some notes, sent them to the dude. Like, look, you know, there's going to be a tiki here, a tiki there. There's going to be a name. There's going to be sponsors down here. You know, the background is going to have, what's that say, palm fronds, palm trees texture. I'm not sure I spelled any of those things right, but whatever. And then I'm going to have something that has a Lime Crush logo because this truck already had its own logo, right? Which is crazy. So, moving forward, I did another version of the sketch, and you can see here. I tightened it up at this point, and I did, I did scan it, and I made it blue line, and then I used my light table and stuff like that to kind of keep the attitude, but really start to get into the actual drawing. That's something I can show you if you want. Here's the other version that shows how I went from here, see how rough that is in the tires and stuff, to here, much tighter. This is all pencil drawings. I scan them in, and what I tend to do is just change the color of the actual pencil drawing, but this was all like with a, I don't know, a 0.5 zebra pencil or something like that. And then I thought this one was cool. I just added a little bit of white to it and everything with the gray background after I scanned it into Photoshop because that just looks kind of cool. And you can see the dude in there. So now let's jump down here. I actually did the dude that's in the car separate, and here's all my notes. You know what I mean? You know, bigger muscles, palm frond. You know, I wanted to have a tattoo and stuff on him. They wanted the Polynesian feel and everything. Hang loose, all that other stuff, which is great. What is this one? It's the same thing, just with the logo. Oh, I think here's another sketch that I did where I wanted to really try to refine all the pieces and stuff in him and everything, which is cool, especially get his hand. And this handle was very, very specific to the actual vehicle. this shifter handle right here. So I wanted to make sure that I got that in there. It's still rough, but that's okay. So we're going to go back up, and I will show you. Let me go back here, or here, here. There we go. See these little tikis I roughed in here and everything? What I did was I did all the tikis, I did the truck, I did the guy, I did everything in separate files and just composited them all together. You feel me? So here is my composite of the tikis. They were both you know, individual, and what I was able to do was to do these sketches, and then I could pull them out into separate files, or actually I think I did them in the same file, but still put them on separate layers or whatever it is, go ahead and render them and do the stuff. I did the exact same thing for the trees. I did want them to be a little bit lazy, and I know that they're pointing down, but the reason I wanted them pointing down is because it would put the eye of the viewer into the actual drawing. You feel me? It would actually do the thing. So now let's get into the drawing. Here is my put together. Here's my tikis that I just showed you. Here's my trees. I actually did a third tree, as you can see. Here's the actual truck. And then what I did was, after I got this guy, let me go back over to him. Oh, wait, he's down here. I made sure when I was sketching him, using the rough sketch of the truck, as you can see here by these light blue lines, that I left in like the lines for the window and so on and so forth. So when I tried to position him, I knew that he would be in there, which is great. So, so there he is in there. That's pretty cool. Then I went and I found a kind of a signage kind of thing. I think I got this from Adobe or something like that. I didn't want to have to draw that. That was, you know, it's sometimes you save a lot of time when you do stuff like that. And then they actually had a Lime Crush logo, so I got that logo. I did a quick mock-up so I could see it in color right here. I was thinking I wanted some water and beach stuff, but I ended up dropping that because why? You know what I mean? Then what I did was I sent to them this whole layout kind of in a grayscale form. Sometimes it's very, very important to not send your clients color too soon, because color can distract them. You hear what I'm saying? They'll be like, oh wait, that's not the exact grain, or this is not the right, you know what I mean? And they'll get like a pothole in their brain, and they can't see the trees for the forest, for lack of a better term. Many times it's best when you do a concept and you're setting it up for a client to just send them grayscale. And then you can work on color and stuff after that. So, I mean, that's a that's a OG that's an OG game changer right there. So I sent a couple of those, let them see that. In this piece right here, there's a little bit of inking starting. Once again, always go through the contours. You see the surfboards, yada, yada, yada. I did add a background just because sometimes I like to see that. And you can see I'm going through the piece. Going through the piece more, adding the smoke. Shout out to George Trossley, my great friend and my mentor. Who, yeah, I have a very similar style, but very, very different. Trossley actually helped me get through art school. That's another story we'll share for another time, but he actually wrote me and helped me get through art school. So I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Trossley. Here's the actual finish inking. Once again in Photoshop, these are all on multi-layered files. I will show you all of that in the part 2 video. What do we got here? Here's some flat color and stuff going in. Got dude's tattoo on there. You know, got them all set up and everything like that, which I think is great. Trees are looking good. Tikis are looking good. Let me see what's next here. Yeah, I'm kind of putting in some of the sign and stuff. There you go. Here's the Lime Crush logo and stuff right there with that bamboo kind of sign, which I think is good. Still flat colors. On this one, I didn't want to do like intense shading and everything like that. I just wanted it to be flat shading, kind of like a more simplistic version of what I would normally do. I wanted to have that more graphic look, so that's what I did. You can see here, there's more graphic looking stuff. Just solid color everywhere to do all of the shading, as opposed to blended tones and so on and so forth. And here, look at this. And you can really see that in the tire here, see? I just wanted solid colors. I didn't want to blend and brush. Solid color, solid color, solid color. So I think that's great. And it ended up right about here. As you can see, there's the logo there. You know, I use the same darker tones and stuff. I'm maintaining the direction of the light, which is coming from, I don't know, almost straight up, or actually kind of from this angle right here. But I did all that on the trees. I did it on the stalks of the trees. I did it on the tikis. I did it on their leaves. I did all those things over there, and I also maintained it on the vehicle. And then I popped up the roof, used the actual shifter knob that's in the vehicle, which was very important. Kind of gave my smoke a little bit of depth here and stuff. And you can see these were all the people that were the sponsors, which was fantastic. And this design was set up at SEMA during that year. I don't remember what year it was, but it was at SEMA. And I wasn't there that year. I was there the year before this, but it went really well over at SEMA. They did posters and they gave out prints and they did all kinds of other stuff. And the vehicle was actually pretty awesome. So you can see what that looks like there. And you know what we'll do? Let's go back and look at the actual... oh, this is cool. I actually did a realistic version of it as well. Like, I was thinking, maybe they want it real instead of cartoon. So I actually still have this saved. So maybe someday I'll be able to go back and do a drawing of that. And let's look at the reference. So this is the reference. This is what they gave me for this truck. They called it the Lime Crush, which was pretty awesome. I was very, very happy to get the opportunity to do this. The other thing that was great was that I got paid a pretty penny for this, and it was pretty nice. So I think this is good for part 1, and what I will do in part 2 is go into the actual Photoshop files, and let me open up one of those for you real quick. Let me open up this one right here. What? is that? That's stupid. I don't know what that is or why it keeps doing that. So let me open up one of the Photoshop files for you right here. I'm gonna do this. And so I'm thinking that in part 2, because once again, I don't want to make this stuff too long, I'll go through this and show you all the layers, how everything, how everything works. And I think Lime Crush. No, I don't want to say that. Let me comp. Oh, here we go. All right, so I'm going to open this up with Photoshop. And what I think I'll do in part 2 is go ahead and break down the entire rendering of this, unless you want me to put it, put everything together in one video. I don't think I'll do that. I think that's going to be too long. So I think I'll show you part 1, like these are the steps. And then I will show you part 2, here, let's see, it's going to pop up right here. Then I'm going to show you part 2, like this is how I did it within Photoshop and rendered the entire vehicle and all of that stuff. As you can see, all my layers and stuff like that in here. And I think that'll be pretty cool. I mean, look at this. What is that? Is that the... Yeah, that's the color base. Let's just real quick, just for the sake of whatever. Yeah. Make it red. You can see exactly how I put together this entire drawing. So you can see all these files and stuff. And I guess maybe that's what we'll do in part 2, right? What do you guys think? I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. And we will go from now. But in part 2, we'll have a limb gym and we'll do all that other stuff and everything. Just let me know what you guys want to see and how you want to see. And that's what I'll do. All right? All right, I'm Lim. I'm out. Later.